Well, good morning, Incarnate Word. Happy Friday once again. We're both back.
Yeah.
No V8 energy drinks to
you got the real
votive
thing.
candles. It's the real thing. No teddy bears here. It's both of us, humans in the flesh.
Soon to be a third.
Soon to be a third, yeah. So let's dive right in. So if you were at Mass last weekend, you were made aware that we are getting a third priest, Father Anthony Gerber. He's a priest of the Archdiocese. He's currently at Sacred Heart in Florissant. He'll be with us for however long we get him. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty with all things new coming up on that front, but we're very, very happy to have Father Gerber with us. He'll be starting this week on Wednesday. He's been ordained since 2011. I had 1 year of seminary with him when he was a deacon, and I was a freshman in college, and I've known Father Gerber for a number of years. I think he'll be a great addition to our staff.
Yeah, and he took my place at Cottleville, and then
I took his place.
Yeah, so you have the line of succession from like 2010 to 2020, right? Is that when you left Cottleville?
Yeah.
So 10 years of
so
Cottleville here, and then Cornstrom is from Cottleville.
Yeah. So basically, it's Cottleville East, southeast a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, we're really, really happy to have him, and make sure you introduce yourself to him next week. Again, he won't be here this weekend, but next weekend, hopefully join us on the weekend roundup as well. Get another face on here, another voice, another meeting of the minds.
And we have something on the new website. I don't think it's been very widely used, but it's called Bother the Father, where you can submit burning questions that you have about our faith, and we'll kind of respond to those. So I think once Father Gerber gets here, we're going to really start working on that, because I know you have questions because you stop us after Mass or whatever.
Send us emails or other ways.
Exactly.
It's a little bit more of a centralized way to do it.
So that more people can benefit from your questions than just one person. Anyway, that's a side note.
So other events coming up. Catholic Women for Christ, that's coming up Saturday, March 11th. That'll be at SLU High. Kind of an all-day event. Sign-ups are online. I will be... For some reason, they thought I had some words of wisdom to offer, so I'll be speaking at that event. Please pray for me.
Then did they give you a topic, or was it just
confession? That was the topic that they gave.
You know a lot about that.
Yeah.
That's
so,
good.
That's coming up Saturday, March 11th. Sign-ups are on the Parish website.
Yeah.
We got feeding our neighbors as well.
Yeah. So, I think this was more just saying thank you.
Sorry.
They needed three vehicles to transport all of the donations. So
yeah.
It seems to be growing exponentially.
Yeah. Fish fry starts tonight.
Yes.
Tonight, the 24th, 4 to 7 p.m. down in the Lower Church Hall. You can order online at stlfishfry.com. How on earth did we get that domain name?
I don't know.
That is impressive.
Early adopters, I think.
Clearly. stlfishfry.com. You can order online, or better yet, show up in person. We got dine-in, carry-out. It'll be a great time. A lot of fun people hanging out. I'll be serving fish on the line tonight. It'll just be a good time.
It'll be fun. So hope to see you there. If not this week, one of the weeks of Lent. And then date night is tomorrow. It's sold out. It's going to be super fun. So if you didn't make it this time, we hope to have you join us in the fall when we throw the next one. Yeah,
and that'll also segue into our beloved marriage series, which is an enrichment for our married couples. That'll be starting up the week of March 26th. So, and we use some of these date nights to try to start up some small groups to be able to talk about these things and be able to help one another grow in the vocation of marriage. So
we've already had over 50 couples go through those small groups.
It's awesome.
Really neat. Stations of the Cross will be every Friday of Lent. After the fish fry at 7 p.m. and then
is it 7 or 7:30?
Maybe it's 7:30. No, 7.
7?
7 o'clock.
7? Okay.
Yeah, and then
this says 7.
Yeah.
So
don't blame us.
They'll be there early if it starts at 7:30. Yeah, but
I think it's 7.
I think it's 7.
Yeah.
Let's count on 7.
And the school kids, I think, do them at 2:30 or something. 2:15.
2 o'clock, 2:15.
Yeah. We probably should have more information on that, but
we probably should.
Yeah. But you can find it on the website. That's what we're going with. We'll get that information next week for sure. But join us for Stations. It's an important devotion.
Wonderful
or go to the Holy Land, one or the other. But this is a little easier to do.
You can also do that,
Yeah. Young Adult Ministry is sponsoring a cook-off, chili cook-off, and a guest speaker is Brother Battistonia.
Battistonia, yeah.
At 6 p.m. this Sunday. And details are on the events page of our website. This young adults group is relatively new, but
kind of organically started too.
Yeah, we didn't start it; the young adults did, and it's actually a great group of young people. More his age than my age, but if you know some youngsters, young Catholic professionals that you want to invite, maybe your kids, grandkids, let them know they're welcome.
Yeah, should be an awesome time. Chili cook-off this Sunday. And then Lenten study begins next week. That'll be Tuesdays from 10 to 11 a.m. and Thursdays from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. I'll do the ones on Tuesdays. Father Schrader will do the ones on Thursdays. And really each week we're going to go through a practical step of how to make God's love visible in our community through evangelization. I mean, in the past, we've called it Bible study, and yes, there's obviously going to be some scripture part of this, but it's mainly a bit more practical this year, maybe some practical skills, and just being able through this Lent to really examine what is our calling as far as evangelization is concerned. Obviously, in Lent, we work a lot on our own personal holiness, but that has a purpose. It's meant not just for ourselves, it's meant to be for others. And so we're going to kind of talk about how what we do in Lent, I guess, can be of benefit to others as far as sharing our faith and evangelizing.
And this word evangelization is often misunderstood. It's kind of like, is this door to door? Is it arguing with people about the Bible or about the faith? And so we think it's important to say what it is and get rid of maybe some of the myths that surround it that keep people afraid of it. But then also, because evangelization is such a important part of all things new, and all things new is kind of being started, implementation in the summer, we thought this would kind of help our parish hit the ground running rather than waiting for all this to take place. So that's kind of the logic behind making it shorter and more practical maybe than more theological that we've done in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. And signups are available online on the parish website. We've also got Seasons of Hope. That'll be starting up next Tuesday for anyone who's experiencing loss of a loved one recently. They meet from 7 to 9 p.m. in the school faculty lounge. Information is available on the parish website.
Yeah, or you can call the office too. I know sometimes people that ministry fits may not always be comfortable with the website. If so, give us a call in the office. We'll get you connected with Deacon Ron and the coordinators for that ministry. And then we had lots of baptisms last week. We had 4 of them. I did the one for Penny Lane Seaton, who's the daughter of Jacob and Megan, granddaughter of Phil and Kathy Chronister.
And then I did the baptism of William Anthony Best, son of William and Tracy, Henry Matthew Scott, son of Ken and Stephanie, and Maria Elizabeth Vargasy, daughter of Anson and Diana. So congratulations to all of them, 4 little ones who are now beloved children of God. So always wonderful to do those. All right. Readings this weekend. I'm going with the theme of confession even. The gospel this weekend is the 3 temptations of Jesus in the desert. The first reading, it's God kind of creating the world. And I'm really just going to talk about, it's kind of a practical one, how to make a good confession. We don't often hear that because confession's a weird sacrament in that our experiences of it are generally only our own. Like for all of you watching, the only confessions that you experience are your own. You don't get to see or hear other people make confession. That's probably a good thing. Us priests are kind of unique in that we're the only people that get to see multiple people make the sacrament of reconciliation. So it's really going to be an encouragement to go, number one, but also just how to make a good confession. A lot of us had formation on this when we were in like 2nd grade, and we just haven't had a lot of anybody really tell us like how to make a good one. So there's some practical tips. I'm not going to go through the greatest hits, don't worry. But just from my experience in the confessional, how to make a good confession and just some of the benefits of that beautiful sacrament for us. I think it's something good to start off in the season of Lent just to begin with, because I know a lot of people will go to confession over the course of this season, and it's important to kind of know how to do it, especially, sometimes our formation was for when we were kids. And now it's like, okay, let's talk about how to make a good confession as an adult, maybe too.
Great, yeah, that'll be fun.
Be very, very kind of practical. Not as much like exegesis on the readings, but I think it's something once in a while that's good for us.
Good. So will you highlight maybe some common mistakes or?
The common mistakes are just helpful tips to maybe make it a more expressive and meaningful, but also concise.
Oh, so you don't. More is not always better.
More is sometimes not always better. So, as I like to say, for instance, you can just say, I was impatient with my wife and kids. You don't have to tell me the entire story of the car ride in which it happened, because I find those things generally happen in cars.
Oh, okay.
Driving is a near occasion of sin for a lot of people.
Or you don't have to say exactly what was the argument about. Like,
Correct.
You need to know about.
Correct. Yeah. Those details aren't as much important as kind of what was going on in your heart. So things like that.
That's great. Yeah, that could have a lot of benefits for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about temptation.
The Temptations?
The Temptations, yeah, exactly. Stay tuned for some
in the name of love.
Maybe the role that temptation...
Or is that the Supremes?
I don't know.
I think that was
before our
Supremes.
time.
It was before our time.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
I will have to look that up, yeah.
So kind of the role of temptation, we see how Jesus progresses through it. And maybe sometimes it's a good thing that we say, I don't want to be tempted, but that God allows temptation just as he allowed it with his son. He allows it for us. It's sort of like if you wanted to get fit with no weights, it wouldn't work very well. You need resistance in order to get stronger. So just kind of going through and maybe explaining the role that temptation plays in the life of the Christian, and why we should, like Christ, we shouldn't sort of say, oh, I don't want that. We shouldn't seek it out or encourage it, but when we are tempted, how to approach it in a holy way that brings growth and holiness rather than sin and regression into weakness.
Well, and we shouldn't seek temptation out. That's the near occasion of sin. But at the same time, temptation is inevitable. As long as we're living and breathing on this earth, the evil one's going to try. Yeah. The evil one never sleeps. So yeah, it's how to work through temptation, because obviously, again, we don't want to seek it out, but it is inevitable. But if we use it properly and we address temptation properly, it can, if we resist it, of course, be a source of growth for us.
And it helps us to realize that we need God. Sometimes when everything goes great, we kind of get like, hey, I can do this Christian thing. I've got it under control. And sometimes it's temptation that puts us on our heels and makes us realize without God,
pride goeth before a fall.
Yeah, it sure does. And I'm glad that, as a kid, I always remember thinking, I would love to be able to turn stones into bread. And like all the temptations that were thrown at Jesus, I would have failed every single one.
Yeah, totally.
So I'm glad
Same here.
I'm glad I haven't been approached with those temptations, or I would be toast.
Especially after not eating for 40 days. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You're withering away to nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, we're looking forward to having you with us for the first Sunday of Lent. And we'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, sounds good.
We at the Fish Fry.
Fish Fry, date night, all those other awesome events. It's a great time to be up here at Incarnate. Great, wonderful season, and we hope to share it all with you. So take care.
God bless.
God bless.